welcoming to my YouTube channel. If you're just meeting this pretty face for the first time, my name is Chinagorom, Nagorom for short. I'm up here with a new vlog. It's not a vlog, it's a sit-down video. We'll be discussing a very vital topic which I know you'll be interested in listening to. Well, before I invite my guest, my special guest on this video, I would love to urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment and share. Share my video out, guys. Thank you. Meanwhile, I would love to introduce my special guest of honor. It's my honor to invite to the seat my special guest, Mr. Favor Chino. So, welcome, Mr. Chima. Welcome to my channel. Mr. Chima is a customer. As you all guys know, a few of you know I'm a banker. So Mr. Chima is a customer. He's my friend. He's beyond a customer. He's a civil servant and self-employed. I don't understand. Sometimes I just imagine, how do you do it? He's a civil servant and yet he works for himself. You can imagine that. So working for himself is not like doing business. Don't worry. I don't want to go into details, please. So, Mr. Chima does a lot of things here, lots and lots of things, and I just admire his energy, and that's why I feel he needs to tell us his secrets in this video. He needs to tell us a lot of things that we need to know. Meanwhile, we have a topic for today. The title of the topic is the difference between being married and staying married. Come on. You guys don't know what he has in stock. Just sit back. I guess you have your popcorn. There should be popcorn and Coke. Sit very close to your phone because we are about to give it to you hot, hot, hot. All right. Welcome, Mr. Chima. Please do well to introduce yourself and let's dive into the topic.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Amia. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like you said, there's no secret about it. It's only good to be versatile.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, I am an estate surveyor.
Yeah.
A professional estate surveyor for that matter. And when you say civil servant, I'm only a politician. I am a politician who is involved in so many things as politics. I'm also a missionary pastor. My name is estate surveyor Chima Favor Chino. The topic you have just mentioned, I'm still thinking, but there, of course, as a married man, I am married by the grace of God with 3 kids.
3 beautiful children.
3 beautiful children.
And a beautiful wife as well.
So, I trust God that we will be able to look at this matter very critically and get out what you want our audience to hear. Thank you.
Okay, so now, like the introduction, I just made a little intro about the video. So I just want to ask a question. As a married man, what's your opinion about someone being married and staying married? You know, there are 2 different words. So I want to know, what is your own definition? What do you think is the difference between being married and staying married? I'm talking from a single perspective. All the single girls, gather here, gather. I'm presenting you, so let the married continue.
All right, thank you. There will not be a particular definition to what you have just asked, but if I understand, I'm looking at it in different dimensions. Being married means a man who is married with a wife, probably with children, a married man, just as I am. If being married, you have gone, you've paid the bride price, and maybe if you're a Christian, you have gone to church, you've had your wedding, you have fulfilled all marital rights, and you've been declared husband and wife. That's being married. And then when you talk about staying married, I feel you are talking about having fulfilled all of these other rights and having been declared husband and wife, that you stick to your wife, you are together, both of you. Because if you look at the Bible, that's why we can't discuss this matter without also looking at the provision of the scripture in this context. And the Bible says, for this reason shall a man leave his father, leave his mother, and cleave to his wife. If you check that word cleave, it has a lot of meanings. And the other part of it said, and the both of them shall become one. So when you talk about staying married, is that these two partners are now one. They have cleaved together to each other. They have left their mother and their father. They have left every other person behind. The man is not looking at anything elsewhere. He has cleaved to the wife. And the wife is not looking at any other thing elsewhere. He has cleaved to the husband. And the both of them are one. They speak in one voice. They understand themselves. There are so many, like I said, there are too many things attached to this cleaving together. So I feel that staying married is in a situation where these people are married and they are cleaved to each other. They share things in common. They see themselves as one, discuss as one, and all of that. They communicate as one. That's staying married. Of course, I also understand. Maybe that's what you're trying to find out. And there are a few situations where you see married people. They are married. They have fulfilled all the marital vows, all the marital processes, but they are not cleaving together to each other. So it is that cleave that differentiates
Between
being married and staying married. It's that cleave that differentiates.
Okay, so what's your opinion about, okay, let me give you a very critical example. Okay, you get someone, not you per se, but someone gets married to his wife or the husband, as the case may be. And at the end of the day, whatever happens in the marriage, either the man, either the husband or the wife relates it back to their family. Do you understand? Their family, in quotes, like individually, their families, respectively, though. So, but what do you think? Like, what's your opinion about that? Do you think it's right sometimes, or you think there are certain things that will, bring about relating to your family, things that concerns or boils down to your marriage with your wife?
Okay, thank you for that question. I will not completely tell you that there are no situations or cases where families has to be involved or has to be aware of.
Certain
But I will refer back to the scripture that I quoted. It said, for this reason shall a man leave his father and leave his mother.
Exactly.
It means that the matter between the married couple is between the both of them.
Yes.
It's a matter that they should be able to talk on their own, have understanding of the matter. And there is in the Christian way of marriage, third party is not allowed. The parents of the man is a third party. The parents of the woman is a third party. And so before this third party comes, it should be in a critical situation whereby both of you were not able to resolve on your own. But of course, I think that marriage is for the matured minds. For a matter to get to the point where the both couples are not able, the both partners are not able to resolve it, it shows to a very large extent lack of maturity between both of them. And by the time you start referring to third party, bringing the parents, and then be rest assured that if God does not intervene, that marriage may not last. Because they will be living by the opinion of the third party, not by what the understanding between the two parties. So I, in my opinion, I don't think it is the right thing or the first approach, not even the second approach, not the third approach. Is the last option, referring back to the parents of either the bride or the groom. It should be the last option. But unfortunately, in our time, you see that that's the first option. But to me, it defines a maturity in marriage, and marriage is for the matured minds and not for kids. Thank you.
Did you guys hear that? Marriage is for the matured mind. Me personally, I believe so, because I've had cases or times where people were coming to ask my hand in marriage, and I was fidgeting. I was, I had fear gripping me because I didn't know what to go in there and do. I don't want a situation where he will tell me one thing, I will run to my mother's house. I'll run to my father's house and I'll be like, I beg, I'm not doing again. People should don't leave me alone. Let me stay here. So, and I totally agree with you. I accept, in fact, I am just, I've bought all your ideas. Like, I totally agree with you. Okay, now, another question is boils down to, in marriage, marriage is a very strong union. It's stronger than anything in the world
It is.
because there are people that just get married for getting married sake. For we the ladies now, some people rush into marriage because my friends are married though. How do I cope staying single? Seeing them posting their husband, their children, their achievements, and everything. A lot of people get bothered about certain things, and these are part of the things, and by so doing, whether you just fall into the wrong hand for reason best known to you, you fall into the wrong hand because you just find yourself getting involved in an unhealthy, very unhealthy competition. So now, what is your thoughts like when it comes to people like ladies that feel there's no age on my side, so let me just dive into this thing. Do you think they will do better? Do you think to an extent it will get to an extent where they will get to understand themselves very well and flow very, very well?
All right, thank you, Sandra. I will approach this matter from this angle. There are stages in life. There's a time to give birth to a child, and the moment a child is given birth to, that child begins to approach certain stages in life.
Yeah.
Stage of creeping, walking, going to school, from crèche, secondary, nursery, primary, secondary, university, and all of that, walking.
Saving, working.
Now, from that tender age, it is registered in the heart of every child that there's a stage you will get to in life, you will get married.
Yeah.
What or how I'll put it that one of the mistakes that some parents do is not telling their children this thing from the tender age. That as you're growing up, you will grow up to certain responsibilities. There are stages you will grow up to, and you will meet certain responsibilities, challenges. Now, the issue is failure to accept responsibility from the beginning. Because if I know, like take for instance myself, growing up as a young man, I planned myself to say, at this stage, this is what I'll be doing. At this stage, this is what I'll be doing. At this stage, this is what. That's why I knew that I was going to marry 10 years before the time I got married. And I started preparing my mind, preparing everything about me, gearing towards marriage. And then weighing every girl that comes my way. Is she a wife material? Is she part of what I'm looking for? I started positioning myself for marriage. And of course, a lady who understands this should also know at what point do I need to start positioning myself for marriage. And positioning myself for marriage is not coming to the road and stand and looking for a man that will tell me, no. What I mean positioning myself is working on your intellect, working on your mindset, knowing when to talk and when not to talk, knowing how to there are better ways of positioning yourself for marriage. Because when you fail at that stage of your marriage, it becomes challenging for you because you failed in your responsibility of knowing how to position yourself. I've counseled a lot of young ladies. I said, this idea of feeling that you don't have a choice of who becomes your man or who becomes your husband because you're a woman, that you're handicapped in that aspect. It's only the man that has the right to choose who to marry. It's a wrong mindset. As a young lady, when you position yourself early enough, when you begin to plan from these stages that I mentioned now, the type of man that you desire to have as your husband begins to ring into your mind, and you begin to watch out for it, and you begin to position yourself for it. God is not wicked that he will not give you that desire of your heart because you have positioned yourself. If you need to go to school, you have tried to go to school. When your parent, you've struggled to position yourself because in these days nobody wants to associate himself. No man, I tell you, I quote, no reasonable man want to associate himself with a liability or want to associate himself with a mediocre. Every man is looking for a woman that you can be proud to say, this is my wife, based on how she has been able to package and position herself. So when you fail to do all of that at the stage when men would have looked at you and your time has passed, there is time for everything. Bible said it, there is time for everything. And when your time has passed, whereby you didn't meet up that requirement for marriage at the time, at your prime time, it becomes an issue. And so at that time, when you see that no reasonable man is looking your way again, then anybody that comes your way, you'll be forced into settling down for such man. And by the time you settle, because you're settling because you want to, let me answer the man's name. Before you know it, you discover that either the man you hook up with or the man you got married to is not going in the same direction with you, or you that the man got married to is not going in the same direction with the man. So there is every tendency that that marriage is not going to last, or even if it's going to last, you're going to be enduring the marriage instead of enjoying the marriage. That's my take.
Guys, this topic is so broad. Like, I thought of a lot of things, and let me just start by, I'll start asking as much as I can remember. Okay, just in marriage, still in being married and staying married.
Yeah.
There are times when I used to argue with one of my friends that told me that there are lots of women that sleep out of their marriage, and I was, that thing kind of was ringing. The person kept telling me while I was in school, and I'm like, no, now it's not heard of. Maybe because of the family where I came from, it's unheard of. And the person kept telling me, no, I know of my neighbor, This is what the person does. I said, did you join the person to the place? But to my greatest surprise, at the end of the day, everything played out. You understand?
Yeah.
It played out and it became very obvious. In fact, she didn't hide it at some point. She was very comfortable doing it. And it's not as if this person's husband was out of the country. The husband was like fully in the country, in the same state with her, and this same thing is happening. So I'm asking here, what do you think is that thing? It's applicable to the guys, the male and the female folks. Now for the guys too, it's a normal thing. Some to an extent, some of them go the extra mile to, keep take care of a woman for certain reasons best known to them. So what do you have to say about it? What do you think is that thing that has prompted them from, not being contented in what they have, be it the husband or be it the wife?
Okay.
And why do guys think, most of my friends also say that women, that if they keep eating okra soup, that they need to change the egusi. So why do you guys think so? Why? Because to the best of my knowledge, whatever I have is what the next lady has. It depends on the usage. There are people that feels is for the public. Well, no problem. Why some other people feel, no, this is what I want. Some people even feel I don't have to do it with anybody till marriage. Do you understand? So what's that thing? What do you think must have caused this whole social norm?
Well, I will say there are too many things that we'll need to look at stage by stage. For the guys, I'm a guy. Saying that you need to, when you eat okra, you go and eat egusi. There is no okra, there is no egusi anywhere. That's lack of self-control. And you know that when a man fails, he becomes defensive. When you see a man that have committed a crime and he knows he has done what is wrong, the next thing he will do is to form defensive. He will be looking for what to defend himself with. All of those statements are defensive statements. They are not reality. It doesn't come from. Where is the egusi there? What is there is what is there. There is nothing like, there's no difference. And then that's why I say this lack of self-control. It is failure to responsibility. That thing you feel, you think is a good thing. Maybe you feel now that your wife's own is awkward. I believe that the egusi there was cooked with money. That it has the taste it has, that you feel is sweeter than the one you have. It is money that they use to cook it.
Yeah. And so much
So
work.
if you too is reasonable and responsible in your own part, you can cook your own soup
To your taste.
to your taste to be even tastier than that very thing. So I feel it's failure in responsibility in the part of men, and then lack of self-control. On the part of women, it still boils down to lack of self-control. There is no reason to defend it or to back it up to say it is right.
Yeah.
It is a very drastic drop in moral values. Growing up those days, seeing our parents, some of these things they are unheard of. In fact, in some cultures, it is clear that once a woman leaves the husband and sleeps with another man, that woman dies, or she undergoes some rituals of cleansing
Yes.
to clean herself. So it was a no matter. It is a very drastic drop in moral values that has made these things now look like it's a norm. It doesn't have any. There is no issues with it.
Yeah.
No, but then I see it as failure in our self-control and in responsibility. Of course, there's no sane woman that will want to do that. And then appetite for, that's another factor. Appetite for what you don't have.
Yeah.
Some of these ladies, especially on the part of the women, ladies, why they have fallen into this kind of things is appetite for what they don't have.
Exactly.
If you can be able to control your appetite over what you don't have, and trusting God that I don't have this, but I'll have it tomorrow,
Exactly.
you will fall into lesser trouble. Why a lot of women are falling into this trouble is that they want to get what their husband cannot provide for them.
God.
And so by getting it, you have to make sacrifice. I was talking to some group of persons yesterday. I said, every great man you have seen, every wealthy and great man you have seen anywhere have exchanged something. Is either he exchanged to God or he has exchanged to devil. Because devil is also a businessman. When you come with such proposals, he will tell you what you need to, what you will bring,
Return.
and take what he can give to you.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Now, those women can't get those things they are looking for, which their husbands cannot provide for them. They cannot get it at the platter of gold. There are some devils incarnate, some men who are standing as devils incarnate to provide it for them in exchange of what belongs to their husband. So it's appetite for what you don't have that pushes a lot of these women to do all of this. It is not that it is a normal thing. So I think on this video, I am also encouraging everyone who has maybe in the want of what you don't have, has fallen into this, please just come out of it. Help yourself and come out of it, because the end point will not be good.
Funny.
It won't be fun.
Okay, please, you guys have heard me. As a single lady, please, I am single. So I said I was going to be talking from the single aspect, and that is it. I also watched a video online where a woman was the husband, according to that video, the husband brought her from the village. So brought her to the city, touched her up, gave her a job, and finally, the husband. Sometimes I don't like people doing hearsay in marriage.
Yeah.
You understand? I can't see you doing something, I'll go and tell your wife. It's better I even find a way and approach you instead of telling your wife, because women, we carry a lot of things in our hearts. We might not really express it. It might take us time to express it, but we still have it in our mind. And those things will still affect our relationship with you. Sometimes we don't know how to express ourselves.
Yeah.
most women, most 90% of us don't know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
We can express it with our attitude. We start giving you unnecessary attitude
Yeah.
until the whole air is cleared.
Yeah.
So the man said the wife's colleague called and was like, they don't understand what's happening between the wife and her boss. The guy said, no, this is somebody, that this is a timid girl I brought from the village. She's someone I know that she cannot, under any circumstance, even cheat. Do you understand? So, at the long run, she had to put her wife on to the taste. She had to put her wife to taste, and brought these people that do prank. He went out of his way to buy a bag for her. Bought this bag. They came. So the lady that came to do the prank now said that somebody gifted her something, but she would need to, that there are lots of gifts, and now she can't remember which is for her. She should please call the name of the person that she feels will give her the gift. She then said, it's her sugar daddy now. She's married with a baby of 3 months. She quickly said, is her sugar daddy now. She didn't know her husband was somewhere waiting, like listening to her.
Yeah.
Is her sugar daddy now. So the lady now said, okay, do you believe that your sugar daddy is here? The girl said, he can't be here now since he didn't tell me he was coming. And all of a sudden the husband came out. That was the end of marriage. That was the total end of marriage.
Sorry, did she mention the name of the sugar daddy? Or
She mentioned
sugar daddy.
She mentioned him. She mentioned his name.
That's the boss.
Yes, that's the boss.
Okay.
So that was at the point the husband said, so all these things he has been hearing about the wife is true. Could it be that it's true? Do you understand?
Yeah.
We ladies, even as a single lady, I'm faced with a lot of challenge, like a lot of temptations. Let me just put it that, because people come to you thinking that this one hand no hold, like nobody is holding you, so let me just grab this one to myself. It happens. I've had a lot of, as a beauty queen, it happened to me. I was offered a car.
Yeah.
But because of that, my home training did not allow me to take that car. It was a Toyota Matrix. My home training, because I was scared, like, what is this thing that you want to give me a car for? I don't understand. Before you take my destiny that is still very bright, I'm trying to brighten it more. And that was it though. It wasn't funny. I had to reject it. And anybody I tell will tell me, are you mad? Are you stupid? Why are you not acting like the Port Harcourt girl you've grown up to be? I was born and bred in Port Harcourt, yes, but everybody must not be the same. People from one side be saying, Port Harcourt girls, those ones, they know they hear what do. Their ear, they back. It's not everybody. So this man brought it because he felt this one is a young growing girl. She will want to meet up with her mates, with her equals, as a beauty queen that time. So they come meeting. Everybody will park their car. What I will know, if once I know you're going with your car, I'll call you, please. I'll take drop and meet you in your house. We will start going to the place. Whenever we finish, you bring me back home. Wahala, talk, finish. So I'm not saying that I was the best of best. I'm not saying that I did it maybe to come and to appear nice in the sight of people. My brothers and sisters now home training. Now home training because I was scared. It's unheard of. My mom said she can't even condone that kind of nonsense. Let alone my father. They will wait for you at the gates. After beating you, you will go back to where you're coming from. Yeah. So that was it for me. And when I watched that video, somehow I felt disappointed because this person is your husband. If it's a boyfriend, you say, okay, I don't know the intention of this one towards me. Do you understand? Sometimes you feel that way. When you're dating someone and you don't know the person's real intention towards you, you'll be like, okay, let me just try out other people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's true. Because sometimes some people keep in a relationship 3, 4, 5 years. Some self, if they want to kill you, they will not engage you, turn to Lord or King of the Ring. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You now start keeping, like you're wearing a ring for the longest time. They not going to carry one bottle of Coke and go give to your family, but you're still wearing ring. Somebody said, sometimes we go through a lot as ladies, So those are the things that bring about this, trying that, try to do this one, do that one.
Well, Ms. Sandra, I will say this. From the day I made up my mind to marry, I'm not saying, of course, you have said it to our viewers, and I also want to join to say we are not perfect. I'm not a perfect human being, but I have my faults. I know my faults. I've been able to critically look at myself and have identified some faults. So the burden now lies on me to keep making effort to deal with those my faults.
Yeah.
Make it at least reduce it to
The
the
barest
barest
minimum.
minimum. There's no man that can say he does not have a fault. Everybody
Yeah.
has a fault.
True.
No human being that can say that.
Yeah.
But then I also want to say this in all sincerity. From the day I made up my mind to get married, like I told you, I planned my life, knowing from where I'm coming from, knowing my family background, knowing how poor we were then, and then I was making effort to ensure that I will meet up in life. One of the decisions I took was that the woman I'll marry, that I have forgiven her in advance, even when she has not done anything.
Anything. Okay.
And so to me, coming to tell me what my wife did is a waste of time to you. It's a waste of time.
Is somebody clapping?
You don't need to tell me. In fact, you will be making yourself my enemy by telling me. It's better for you that you saw it and you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. A lot of homes have been torn apart just because of this matter. And then, for a man that wants to prank the wife, I see some level of
Lack of trust.
one, and then some level of immaturity that is not completely fit and qualified to get married. What are you pranking her for? You suspect something, you call her attention. But, Miss Sandra, let me tell you, one of the problems, that's why we are talking about staying married and being married. Why a lot of homes are having this problem today is that many of these homes, they are just married. Whereby there's no a time of communication when you discuss with your wife, when you talk, when you just gist. There's no gist time. I mean, a casual gist time, not a formal thing. I mean, we will meet tomorrow. Honey, I want us to meet 4 a.m. You're waking the woman up to say, wake up, let's talk. If you have this time, some of those things you're suspecting, some of those things that is giving you concern, during your gist time, you can use wisdom to chip them in and get that result. You will go and send somebody to prank. The woman is not Jesus that will understand that this is a prank. She too may want to answer whoever that is coming to prank her onto prank. And from it, you will get a negative reflection or a negative result that will end up tearing the family. So why pranking her? Is she not your? Both of you are one. At the point where there is any, I've always told my wife, I said, honey, see, I'm not a perfect man. I can make mistakes. There are too many of them. But the moment you suspect any, please just feel free to ask me. Ask me first. Let me lie the lie to you than acting without asking me. Let me lie the lie. Even though you feel that if you ask me, I'll lie. Ask me, let me lie the lie. It will be better than for you to act without asking me. Say with me. I suspect anything, I have our gist time. I'll chip it in. Why would I now want to go and use somebody to find out if my wife is having affairs with the boss? Why would I do that? It's in my position to find out. Of course, there's also the kind of value that your wife will have. You will never think of such thing.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
That's why I said there are stages in life that as you're growing, please grow with the characters and the qualities that is associated to the stage you have gotten to. It will be difficult, it will be bad for a married man to come and I look at pranking your wife as what a boy will do, not what a married man should do. What am I pranking? If that prank will fall and then the marriage will scatter, unknowingly to you that the thing you're pranking is not true. There are certain things, of course, some men, especially from where I'm coming from, it is abnormal for a man to enter kitchen to go and cook. No. Your own is to sit down in the parlor, watch television, and let the food be ready, and they will give you your food. You eat. What are you going? If other men from my area see you cooking, your name will be Umara. It's your wife that is marrying you. You're not the one marrying your wife. It's the sole responsibility of the woman to cook. But sometimes, of course, as one who have decided not to put myself under strict monitoring of anybody, that's why I'm not working for anybody. I choose when to go to work and when not to go to work. If I want to lie down and sleep, I lie down and sleep. It's my time. And God has also been faithful, providing for us. Sometimes I'll be in the house and I know that my wife went to work and there's no food in the house. And when she comes back, we may go to church in the evening. If she starts cooking, she will not be able to go to church, or she will be tired. And she will start going to market, I'll go to market. I'll buy things that I'll make. Well, I think about a few days ago, because we have a program running in the church, we have a 21 days that is running in the church. And all of us, both the children, everybody goes for the program. I said, no, if I don't make this food, this woman comes back and starts making food, she will not be able to meet up the program. Let me go to market. Since I'm in the house, since I didn't go out today, I made soup, I made stew, and she came back. I said, honey, in fact, she even went to the kitchen with that mind of what do we do since there's no food. And she got there, opened the pot, there was soup, there was stew.
My husband, are you listening to this?
And it didn't change me from being who I am.
Yes.
It didn't remove my money in my pocket. Sometimes I am at home, I want to wash. Of course, I have a laundry outfit. I have my nephews and cousins staying with me in the house. They do most of the washings for me. But sometimes, at least to still maintain that values, to still maintain those kind of things that there are certain things you need to do. Not that I'm in the house, I want to wash. I go to where I keep my dirty clothes, and I see my wife's phone there. I carry everything. I wash my own, I wash her own, because she used to wash my own. What stops me from washing her own? The Bible said, we are one. What the scripture only said is that the man is the head of the family. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so the wife has her own role to play. I have my role to play in maintaining the relationship, to stay married, so that we are not just married, we are staying married. Because the responsibilities is shared, everybody plays his own part. And in that situation, there won't be any need pranking anybody. That the man went and pranked the wife, and that was the end of the marriage. My dear, that one is even too big to the things that are breaking up marriages now. But the reason is because the ones who are not matured in their minds just quickly jump into marriage. And anything you rush into, you rush out of it. That's what. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we've said enough. If you want to see a part 2 of this video, please drop in the comment section. Meanwhile, at this point, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.